Well, good morning, guys. I'm excited to have you all here today with me at Next Home Excellence. We are kicking off 2020 in style. I would like to introduce all of you to two wonderful human beings who have come in today to share with us the beautiful parting of being social. That was not correct English, but we'll go with that. So this is Michelle and Sarah. They're here with First International Title, and Sarah is really going to go through with us. Now, I will tell you guys that I took this class about a month ago at TechU at the Realtor Association of Sarasota. Manatee is one of the best Facebook classes I've ever taken, so no pressure.
Not at all.
But without further ado, I'll get out of the way and I'll let us get right into it, okay?
Sure.
All right.
Well, I just want to say hi. I'm Michelle Gregor at the First International Title Office on Bee Ridge, right here in Sarasota. We do a lot of these classes. I'm lucky enough, Sarah was already going to be in town, and I'm like, ooh, you want to come with me and do it? No. So we can help you with all different types of classes, but we're excited to show you this one, especially with the ads.
Yeah. Okay. So like Michelle said, my name is Sarah. I'm the sales manager for First International Title. We have 33 offices in the state of Florida. We are also the largest independent title company, so people are like, oh, why should I care about that? Well, you should care because we have 11 underwriters. So if you're working with like a small mom and pop attorney or a smaller title agency, they'll have maybe 2, maybe 3. If you're working with a direct underwriter where they write their own policies, if that underwriter says no, we can't close it, it's much like a mortgage broker. We'll say, okay, we're going to shop it to our other 10 underwriters. So if we can't close it, because we're literally signed up with every single underwriter in the state of Florida, if we can't close it, nobody can. And smaller ones typically can't. You have to give an underwriter so much business every year to stay with them. That's why usually the smaller shops only maybe have 1, 2, or 3 underwriters at a time. So that's why our size is beneficial. The other thing is I just posted an article actually on my Facebook the other day that this is one of the top areas that people are moving in from out of state. Florida is now #1 for everyone coming in. This is one of the top areas. It's in the top 5. So if you're talking with a potential buyer that is coming and they haven't sold their house, let's say in California, because it's like a mass exodus out of there, you can talk to us about there or Arizona. We have partnerships all over the state. We also have it all over the country. We're also in Texas and New York, so we have offices there, and we can help brokerage a deal where you could possibly get a referral fee on that sell if they haven't already listed their house in another state. So it's another reason, or another area. It could be Pensacola. We have offices from the Panhandle all the way down to Key West. So just consider us a resource throughout the state for anything when you start having conversations with people. But how we got into this, and people are always like, why is a title company teaching us social media? Why do they know so much about it? And we run a ton of ads ourselves. We've tried them, we know it works, what doesn't work, for the most part, every market's different. But about 16 years ago, I graduated from college, had $60,000 in student loan debt. Yay me, right? Because I had to go to a private college because I'm an idiot. So I had $60,000 worth of student loan debt. My mom's friend had said, why I was running a title company at the time. I was looking for a job. She's like, oh, Sarah would be perfect. It's sales. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I show up my first day in my suit, like my $60,000 worth of student loan debt ready to pay off. And she says to me, my boss at the time, hands me, I'm not kidding you, my first day, a bag of frozen cookies and a box of business cards and said, bake these cookies every day, tie your business cards to it, and take it to real estate offices. And I'm like, what am I asking them for? They're like, title insurance. What is that? They're like, she's like, listen, I can teach you about title insurance all day long, but if you can't sell, you can't sell. She's like, so go, you'll learn it as you go, tell them you're with a title company, they'll know what you want. So for 3 months, I went in the office every morning with my Otis Spunkmeyer cookie maker, baked my cookies, wrapped them up, and took them around. About 3 months into it, people gave me business. Realtors really like cookies. People gave me business, right? So, and it wasn't until I walked in and the guy in the front screamed, "The cookie lady's here," I knew I had a problem. all right? I was not gonna finish my career as the cookie lady. So I started having conversations with real estate agents, and the biggest thing that I would heard from them were their two pain points was, one, they didn't realize that when they got into real estate, they had to run it like a business, and everybody was selling to them, right? You get those calls, I have the magic CRM, this is gonna be the silver bullet, it's gonna save your life, and you're gonna be a multi-million-dollar producer, and then you're $1,000 a month into a program and it's not working for you, right? They were really frustrated because they didn't know where to put their money. The second thing was they didn't realize they were going to have to be salespeople. They thought that they got their license, put up a website, and the phone would start ringing. So back then, everything was about mailers and farming. So I spent so much time learning about farming and mailers. If you want to do mailers and farmers, I am still your girl. I will put my farm up against anybody else's in the world. Like, I know so much about farming, right? So I learned it, and that's how I started getting my appointments. I was like, oh my God, people actually want to meet with me, and it's not because of my cookies. You know, so I really starting to learn about that. Well, then people started asking me back then, they're like, this is great, but how do I get it to England? Because that's where all the buyers are coming from. And I'm like, ugh, I got nothing. I don't know their postal codes. I don't know who to call. I don't know anything. And then it was South America, Venezuela. They wanted to get, you know, stuff. And people were paying $25,000 to go down there to set up a real estate seminar. Well, when people then started mentioning social media. It was Google Ads first, and then it was social media. And I was like, oh my God, no. I was like, I don't know anything about it. To me, social media felt like an ocean, and my client was a needle. I didn't even know where to start. So I was like, no, I can't. Well, the first training that I went to, the guy was so good that, and he pulled up on the screen at the time, and he showed me that I could teach my clients how to get in front of 10,000 people in whatever market they wanted to, anywhere in the world, for $10. And at that moment, I was hooked. I was like, okay, this is, because then I met with a lot of new agents, because, you know, seasoned agents, they're a longer sales cycle because they have relationships. And so I was always meeting and, you know, sitting with them and being like, you have to send out 250 postcards every month, spend $200 for 6 months to a year before you get a deal. Didn't always work for everybody. They're like, I haven't even sold a piece of property. I can't spend $1,200. But I knew that I could help them put together a platform and a program that they could spend $70 and possibly get a lead, because they'd be touching the people the same amount of time. So that's how a title insurance company got here, right? And when my boss hired me, who thinks I'm absolutely crazy, he's a spreadsheet guy, right? He's like, I don't see it on the spreadsheet, so I don't know how to, he just goes with whatever I say. And I told him, if you want to hire me, I said, I will never teach your people how to drop off cookies. Obviously, Michelle's display is horrible today. Sorry, Michelle. I said, but if you want me to teach them how to sit with people and help them take their business to the next level, I'm your girl. So we've spent a lot of time. They've sent our team to tons of trainings to learn this stuff. Two of the trainings I went to was with Gary Vaynerchuk. Does anybody know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't know who he is, look him up. He's a marketing genius. If you don't mind the F-bomb, if you do mind the F-bomb, definitely don't look him up. But just to give you his backstory, he started in his family's online wine business. The first year that he took over, they were doing $1 million a year in online wine sales. The first year he took over, they did $60 million in sales. And he did it all through Google Ads. And he said people were laughing at me, telling me, like, oh, this will never work. Why are you wasting your money? Google was giving it to him for pennies. He said now big business is in Google Ads. We can't run ads on Google Ads. It's way too expensive. He said, what do you think is going to happen when big business realizes that Instagram stars and YouTube stars now make more money than movie stars? He goes, you know, and I try to explain to people the reason why Facebook is a $470 million company. All of us have accounts and they're all free. The reason why they're worth $470 billion, sorry, not million, dollars right now is because they They own the consumer. They own the consumer. And they spend a lot of time, money, and resources to figure out how they can keep owning the consumer, right? So that's going to bring us to our next slide. I'm not going to go through stats because I think we all know that's where the consumer is. But I do want to talk about video and why video is important. So I'm sure you guys have been to social media classes where like, make sure you post your listings. Make sure you post 3 times a week. Posting is dead. If you're posting, it's over, right? The news feed on Facebook and Instagram is way too valuable. They are not going to let you advertise your business for free anymore. They're just not. I teach this class in Florida, Texas, and New York. We have 33 offices in Florida. How many realtors do you think I know? And how many do you think are on my social media page? Tons. If you go to my page right now, oh, that's the one you were talking about.
That's the one Michelle, yeah.
You're scrolling through, right? Okay, first thing that comes up after Michelle's post about what it's like to close a deal is Zola. I don't know why everybody wants me to get married. It's a little ridiculous. They come up on my page all the time. No. So they come up on my page all the time. So Zola is now paying to be on my page, right? It's a sponsored ad. So I'm going to scroll. Somebody I used to work with. Keep scrolling. My mother. A competitor who I love. And Zola again, right? So this feed is too valuable now. Zola's paying for me to see it. They're not going to allow you to show me your listings for free, right? So back in the day, it used to be okay to post, and it used to be okay to post to your sphere of influence. You can still do that, and you'll still get some reaches. But today we're going to talk about ads. The same way that you went out and farmed that just listed, right, for a neighborhood that you just listed in, you are going to do the same exact thing, but through social media with video. And you're going to see a whole lot more people. So social media analytics prioritize video. So remember when I told you that Mark Zuckerberg and his teams have spent a lot of time, money, and resources figuring out why people stay on their platform? Because they don't want to become MySpace. They know that if you're posting videos, that the consumers stay on their platform longer. They watch videos longer than they've ever had before. So what they do is they reward you for giving the consumer information the way that they want to receive it by showing it to more people, whether it's a post or an ad. So purple hair, what's your name?
Josh.
Josh, and what's your name?
Scott.
So Josh and Scott both have purple hair. I said purple hair. Josh and Scott. Josh and Scott both have a listing in the same neighborhood. They, Josh goes, and now I can't think of anything with purple hair. Josh goes and shoots a video with his fabulous purple hair talking about his listing, and he runs it as an ad. He posts it, and then he also runs it as an ad. Scott is listed the house next door to him. He takes a still picture, posts it, and takes that still picture and runs it as an ad. Purple hair's video is going to be seen 80 times more than Scott's still picture on a post or an ad. Because remember, Facebook doesn't want to become MySpace. They want you to give people the information that the way that they want to receive it. I think that's all that's on that thing. Get that. So some video marketing stats, and you'll see it in my industry. I can tell you that this is absolutely true. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. You take a look at my sales team. In Florida, I have about 30. I have a bunch of old school, I have some new school, and I have some people in the middle that are trying to become new school, right? Everyone that's new school, that shoots video like this lunatic, you can see their numbers every single month go like this. Everybody that's not using video is either flat or falling, right? So Josh, who's your favorite actor or actress?
I have no idea.
I didn't realize it was going to be that tough of a question.
No.
Sean Penn, I'll show it.
Sean Penn. Okay, have you? Somebody get this guy a cup of coffee. He does have 5 kids or 4 kids or something.
Like Elmo?
So Sean Penn, have you ever met Sean Penn?
No, I wish I did.
Okay, Sean Penn has created a relationship with you on screen, and you've never met him.
Right.
You are going to do that with potential buyers and sellers. That can only be done with video. That cannot be done with a picture. And Tom Ferry says that if you have an agent, a seasoned agent, right, that has a huge book of business, and you have a newbie, and the newbie shoots 3 to 5 videos a week and is running ads and posting them, they are going to take that seasoned agent business because visibility beats ability every single day of the week. It doesn't matter if that seasoned agent has written over 1,000 contracts and you've written 2. You are now top of mind. You are being Sean Penn on this screen. That make sense? 85% of Facebook videos are watched without sound. So, Scott.
That's Scott.
Josh.
Purple hair.
Purple hair. Scott. So Scott, if you could shoot a great video, giving all kinds of great market update, talking about the community, whatever it may be, but if you don't close caption it, only 15% of the people are actually going to hear what you're saying. So today I'm going to show you how to close caption your videos in Facebook and Instagram. You can do it both for free. The good news is on Instagram that when my stories are 60% of them are watched with the sound on, but I still close caption them because there's still 40% out there. Facebook, I understand more because I like their ads manager. I do not like Instagram's ads manager. Everything has to be done on the phone. And you have very few options to pick when you're running an ad. Now that Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company, you can run your Facebook and Instagram ads together through Facebook Ads Manager. So it's kind of like a combo class today of Facebook and Instagram. The only thing I'm not going to cover is hashtags and the difference, like aspect ratios and all that stuff that goes into. Yeah, that goes into more Instagram stuff, right? Instagram is way more visual. If you think about it, the picture comes first, then the words. On Facebook, the story comes first, then the picture. So you can be more of a storyteller, use more words. On Facebook, Instagram's more visual, so you need to think about that. But we're going to go over a lot of that today, and you're going to see how to run your ads on both platforms. Hi. Okay, so I struggle a lot with leaving this slide in. So we stock a lot of different pages, like forums for real estate, the people that talk about social media and their performance for their ads and posts on social media. And the reason why I struggle with this is because this is about post. And I don't want to give anybody a false sense of their posts going to be able to be seen a lot now, right? So but I did want to share with it from the video aspect. So as you can see, this gentleman, he's showing us his post, and his post is, video is number 1. So the reach is 1286 for videos. The second one are links. They're probably links to his MLS properties. Third is photo. Fourth is shared video. So I want to talk about this. Where are my Gen Xers and my baby boomers? Raise your hand high. Gen Xers. Gen X?
No,
I'm a baby boomer.
The last great generation. Okay, so the baby boomers and the Gen Xers, we have been trained to do 2 things that probably doesn't work as well as it used to. The first one is ABC, always be closing. We're not going to get that much into it today, but always be closing is I don't want to say frowned upon, but the consumer knows when you're ABCing them and they don't like it, right? So there's studies now that people start looking for houses 6 to 9 months before they make a decision. You need to be there at the 6 to 9 month mark with information, not at the 9 month mark trying to hard close them. But that's how we were trained. The other thing that we were trained to do is set it and forget it. Oh my God, set it and forget it, right? Okay, I'm gonna load this person in my CRM and I'm never gonna talk to them again because they're gonna get an email from me for the next 50 years. The problem with set it and forget it is the consumers know when you've set and forgot them. Do you know when you get an email from a company that you've been set and forgotten? Is there any type of relationship there with that business when that happens? No, you don't feel any kind of way for that, right? We're going to talk about set it, forget it later. The other thing is the platforms are smarter. They are smarter. So 2 years ago, I went to my boss, the spreadsheet guy, and I was like, listen, I cannot keep up with all this posting on social media. We have 33 pages in Florida. We had 8 in Texas and 1 in New York. It's like, things are slipping through the cracks. Our pages are starting to look like crap, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, okay. He has no idea. He doesn't have Facebook. So he's like, oh, okay, well, what do you know? I'm like, I need Hootsuite. I need Hootsuite. And I was like, all I have to do is upload it to Hootsuite, and it goes out to all the pages. And he's like, okay, well, how much is it? I'm like, $5,000. He's like, okay, well, if you need it, get it. So I noticed before our engagement on our post were anywhere between 150 and 200, right? When I was just posting organically. The second I started using Hootsuite, that went down to 6, 12, 8. Because it actually says posted by Hootsuite. And Facebook and Instagram are saying this is spam crap. It's not what they really said, but that's what I heard in my head. And we are not going to let you spam our clients for free because they know that it's been posted by Hootsuite. The other thing is if you post it to YouTube first and then it goes to Facebook and Instagram, what is Facebook and Instagram to YouTube and vice versa? Competitors. They don't want you driving people off their platform and how they make money to a competitor's platform. That's why shared videos get 80% less views than an organic uploaded video.
Quick question though on the stats. What about just a normal video compared to like a live video? Is there?
Okay, we're going to talk about live.
Okay.
I think that might be the next slide.
Yeah.
Oh, it is!
I swear I didn't see that.
He works
Okay,
for us.
so Facebook Live. I like Facebook Live because Facebook likes Facebook Live, okay? Because people inherently, when they see that someone is going live or about to go live, people think that something cool is about to happen. And it drives people on the platform. So Facebook will reward you by showing that live video to more of your followers because it's driving people onto their platform. I like live a lot, but there's 2 ways that real estate agents that I've met with use it that I really, really like. I'm going to share with you guys. But the content that I'm going to tell you that they do, I would say do it after you have a following. If you don't, you're wasting this content on something that could be run as an ad to build up your following. Does that make sense? But Facebook Live, yes. So the 2 ways that real estate agents use it, that I think anyone could use it, because I always tell people, unless I come back, go to South America and come back looking like Sophia from Modern Family, you're probably not going to catch me on a live video. So I need my Snapchat filter. Not the puppy dog one either. The one that cleans
The light
up.
beauty one.
Yeah, the light beauty. I just got
I didn't burn my
Botox.
head on the
Yeah, that one. So, the first lady, she says that she goes live every single week. And she goes the same day and the same time. She picked 10:30 on Monday morning. And she said the reason why she did that was because, one, to hold herself accountable, she treats it like an appointment. She says nobody wants to go live. Nobody wants to go live, right? So what happens, you're like, I'm going to go live this week. The next thing you know, it's like, oh, like my inspection came up and my dog ate my phone cord and I can't, But if you treat it like an appointment, you'll do it. So she said the first one, she was terrified. She went to the neighborhood that she wanted to farm. She turned her phone the opposite way, went live, and gave a 30-second market update, videoing the outside of the thing. So she wasn't even on it. She says, now my hair's in a bun, I might have a cup of coffee, and it's more interactive because she's built up her following. So she's like, this week do you want to know about the difference between FHA and conventional, or what's going to happen because the interest rate dropped? What can you expect in the real estate market because the interest rate drops? Stuff like that. So she makes it more interactive. The other way that the gentleman, that I absolutely love this idea and it would work really, really well here. And the thing is the one thing I tell people all the time, you are really going to struggle with the content. That is going to be your hardest thing when you're talking about videos, right? Because we can no longer ABC people on this platform. We want to be there at the 6 to 9 month mark when they're just starting to think about possibly moving with information. Well, what type of information are we going to share with them? What are you doing?
Nothing at all.
So what type of information are you going to share? Oh my God.
No, I didn't.
Especially at that age.
So punch me right
Oh
in
my
the
God. Look, it's an elephant. He's in the class. No, so anyways, he picks a business of the month every single month, right? And I always share the story. So I moved a year ago, which I can't even believe it's been a year since I've been in my house. It's still not even unpacked, but I'm never home, right? I moved from the country. I lived in the country. I loved it out there. It was on 10 acres in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, my children's schedules had other ideas of where we should be living as a family. So I moved to the burbs to be closer to all their sports and all their other crap. And I moved to like the place to live now. When I was, it's called Winter Garden. Have you guys heard of it? Winter Garden? When I was growing up, they called Winter Garden Winter Garbage, and nobody lived there. But now I live in. Oh, it's beautiful.
They're like 3 years ago.
Really cute, yeah. So there were 2 real estate agents, and I know hundreds of them. And my neighborhood is a very sought-after neighborhood. I kept all the postcards 1 month that I got from real estate agents. I got like 28, right? So it's very sought-after neighborhood. 2 real estate agents. One, I don't know her. She's not a friend, she's not a client. Ran an ad on my page about living in Winter Garden. And she did like a drone through. She talked about, they interviewed her about her favorite spots on Plant Street, all that stuff, and what you could expect by living there. I still remember her name to this day. It was Erica Saddlefield. But she only showed up on my page once. Like, man, she should be running that all the time, right? But I still remember her name just the one time. The second one was the guy interviewed the owner of the whole enchilada on the rooftop bar, and I remember his name, Daniel Betancourt. He is now my friend on Facebook. The reason why I tell you that is I can't tell you one real estate agent's name that showed up with a just listed or just sold flyer in my mailbox. But I remember those 2, and they had really very little to do about real estate. It had to do about the community and living there. Right? So in Texas, there's a group that says we sell communities, not homes. So this gentleman picks a business of the month every single month. And he'll go into a mom and pop, like in downtown Winter Garden, and say, congratulations, you've been picked business of the month by Sarah at Next Home Realty. Right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go live if you have a following. If not, you're going to shoot this and run it as an ad. We're going to go live on this day at this time, and I'm going to ask you these 3 questions. Why did you set up your business in Sarasota, Florida? What do you do to give back to the community? And maybe, let's say it's a pizza shop, he's 5th generation pizza maker, and he wants to highlight that about his business, so you create a question around that. So a couple of things are happening there, right? The first one is, you're not just talking about real estate all the time, because if I'm at the 12-month mark moving into the 9 to 6-month mark, and you're just showing me houses, there's no connectivity there because I don't even know that I'm going to want a house. Does that make sense? The second thing is you're now telling people about businesses in their neighborhood. People love that. I hate eating at mom and pops. I tell them all the time, like if I'm in town visiting, I'm like, do we have anything other than a chain to eat at? I mean, I love eating at Mama and Pop. Do we have anything other than a chain? Like I don't want to eat at, I love Seasons 52, but I don't want to eat there.
We ordered the left side of the menu once.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So, but you get what I'm saying. So you can kind of be that ambassador. The other thing that's happening is now you're creating relationships with small business owners in your market. And I'm here to tell you now that is the best sphere of influence to have. I used to work in banking for a very short stint. I've worked with small businesses. I did their loans, deposits, their 401ks. I did all of that stuff with them. And once you do one person's, it's like they're a cult. They know all the other small business owners in the area, and they send them to you. They also have employees. The other thing is if you shoot it as a video or live, now they're going to share it on their page. So now your stuff is growing organically, and Facebook is saying, wow, this is creating content that's being shared. They're not putting out junk. So I'm going to give them a higher relevancy score, and I'm going to show their stuff to more people. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the 3 questions.
Yeah,
said,
so-
why did you set up your business in Sarasota?
Yeah, what do you do to give back to the community? Because millennials, millennials are 30 now. Everybody still thinks millennials are 18 years old. They're 30 now. And philanthropy is very important to them, right? The third thing is something they want to highlight about their business. Yeah.
What do you do for the person that's nervous to get in front of the camera?
Well, that's the problem, right? So maybe their manager can do it, but the owner is still going to be happy
I
about
do it with them.
Yeah.
Like, that helps. Like even with agents, they're like, oh, I have to do a video, and so they'll call me. Can you please come to my open house to do this? And I interview them, and they feel more comfortable just asking them questions.
but then just talking. Yeah.
Right.
There's a Next Home out of South Carolina. They've been a Next Home for quite a while now, but they are taking a really big focus this year. And the manager, the broker in charge of the office, is going out and sitting with her agents and helping them with their Facebook Lives right out of the gate. And I'll tell you that Next Home does a lot of really engaging stuff. We have some really energetic people, really kind of cutting edge people all around the whole country, but they are slaying it right now in South Carolina out there in Myrtle Beach. And it looks so cool for them to come up here and do it, and we would be happy to do that with you too.
Yeah, because visibility beats ability. And not saying that you guys don't have the ability, but they're making themselves very visible. The other thing that this gentleman does is he takes a little certificate. You can get him at the dollar store. He prints, congratulations, Al's Pizza Shop, for being picked Business of the Month by his name, his real estate company, his contact information. He puts it in a frame, gives it to him. He says 99% of the time he goes back, that is hanging up in their business. And who are they going? A fake award, right? You just gave them a fake award. And who are they going to remember? It seems legit. And who are they going to remember? You or the realtors are like, can I leave my cards on your garbage can or your cork board? They're going to remember you. So now that has taken off so much for this real estate agent that he's now taken it off of his real estate page, created a community page where he talks about different things in the community and businesses and picks a business of the month every month. So it's just something to think about. If you guys are like me, not super comfortable being on camera, you can leverage other people to do it. Okay. I need you to put your seatbelt on. Because this is either confusing or I'm really bad at explaining it. I'm going to go with the first one. So, so we talked a little bit about my set it and forget it people, right? And I'm not mad at you. I'm a Jenna. Actually, I think I'm a Zennial. You guys seen that new little sub person? So I can still get tech, but not as good as the millennials. But I'm not like, oh my god, I'm touching it.
Good morning. Thanks for calling Next Home.
So we talked about set it and forget it. And
Stevie is
I know
actually
you guys
in a
have been
meeting
to
at the
real
moment,
estate
but I can certainly take a message and have her give you a phone call back.
where they've told you that realtors are horrible at keeping in contact with their past clients, right? You've heard it a million times.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't think realtors wake up.
All right,
and
I will
are
have her
like,
give you a
I
phone
would
call
be
back. What's the best
bad
number for her to reach
at
you?
not contacting my past clients. Is that no one has given you a viable option to do
I'm sorry,
that.
941-720-9404.
We've already talked about the set it and forget it email program, right? That's pretty
All right,
much
perfect, Marianne. I will give you the I will give her the message as soon as she's out of the meeting. She'll give you a phone call. Okay.
Click-through rate, and I'm like,
All right,
that
thank
doesn't
you. Have a
mean they're
wonderful day.
reading it.
Bye now.
Because I start at the top on my iPhone, open it up, hit delete, 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 and it says it's open, but doesn't mean I read it, right? So emails, for me as a consumer, I'm telling you, I'm not reading them unless it's Bath and Body Works, $10 off of 30, expires tomorrow. You're not getting read. Okay? So that's the first one. The second one is if you build your database to 2,000, 3,000 people and you're trying to send them a mailer every quarter and people are now staying in their houses on average 9 years, you've just lost money by sending them a mailer trying to stay in front of them. So it's not that they're bad, it's just no one's giving you a way to do it effectively. Facebook has the capacity where you can export out of your CRM, you can have a list, whatever it is, of all the people in your database, your email addresses and your phone numbers. You can import them into Facebook as a custom audience. Facebook and or Instagram will go find those people for you. And the way Zola showed up on my page as a sponsored ad, you are now going to show up on your people's page as a sponsored ad. They don't have to like your page, and they don't have to be your friend. Okay?
Just a quick clarification.
Yeah.
So you can just load up like a CSV file
Yep,
to your Facebook?
I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm on here, and Scott, teacher's pet.
Yeah, class favorite.
Right?
Obviously.
So I'm scrolling through here, and now, this just showed up as a sponsored ad. It's ours. Let me find another one.
It's ours.
It's ours.
It works. That's my face.
Yeah, okay, so Penny Saver. How do they know? They had stopped right at Starbucks. So Penny Saver shows up on my page as a sponsored ad. Scott sold me a house 5 years ago. I haven't opened his email in 5 years, but now I know I am such a jerk. It shows up on my page giving me a 30-second market update about Sarasota. So it's about staying top of mind. You can get in front of 3,000 people in your database for $10 with an ad. Way more effective than trying to send a mailer that's a little bit expensive. Don't get me wrong, I still love mailers and they still work. I'm not saying that, but this is an easier way. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Here's the problem. Okay. You have to have a business manager page. A business manager page is not customer facing at all. It's only something you work out of. It's inside Ads Manager. It lays behind Ads Manager. And honestly, I think with the new rules or with HUD suing Facebook, every realtor is going to have a business manager page anyways. Because when you go in there, it asks you special ad category. You have to click yes every time, and that it's for housing. So those of you that don't know, I used to teach this class, and people were like, well, I only want the top 10% of people and income in this age group. I'm like, you can't do that. You're violating equal housing. Like, well, let me do it. Well, doesn't mean that you didn't violate it. So what happened is HUD found out that Facebook, this big, huge conglomerate, is making money off of illegal practices and sued them. And won, right? So now, but I saw it. So I was working with a realtor yesterday. She had a business manager page and she had her personal ad page. I'm going to show you what all this looks like. In her personal ad page, she had the special ad category. So she could still run ads out of that, and then it limits it, right? So I used to teach everybody to go a mile radius, hyper local. You can't do that anymore. It has to be 15 miles out because of anti-redlining. It is now in effect. Your ad will not get approved if they realize that you're in real estate. So, but her personal ad page had it. Some realtors that I sit with, their personal ad page does not have it. Their business manager always has it. So it's kind of like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like when Facebook realizes you're a realtor, now you have to operate under a business manager page, right? So you have to get that set up. I'm going to show you the error message and how you do that, and then what it looks like to actually upload a database. Okay, can you see Teacher's Pet?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So I'm going to go to, real quick, I want to show you guys something really, really cool. So you guys see this? So this is my dad in 1970 working construction, building the castle and the rest of Disney World.
It's the coolest picture you will ever see.
Isn't that cool?
Ever.
So the head of photography for Disney World at the time was my dad's parents' neighbor. So when he was walking through taking pictures of the construction, he saw my dad and said, let me take a picture of you in front of the castle. Took it and then gave it to my dad. Isn't that cool? A little bit of Florida history. Back to work. I'm like, how does my dad not have Facebook? And he gets more likes than anything else up there.
I was probably half of those likes, so, and half of those comments.
Everybody loves Palmer. So, okay, so I'm going to go to the three little dots, and let's start here. Has everybody in here ran an ad on Facebook? Yeah. Okay, if you have, raise your hand. Okay. Ad or boost post or both?
Just boost post.
Boost post, ad, both, ad. Okay, good. So you know, okay, so this is how I get to my ads manager. There's multiple ways, but it's easy to tell everybody. The three little dots, I call that the lotus flower of Facebook, where all life begins. If you get lost, go to the three little dots. So I'm going to go to the three little dots, and I'm going to go to create ad, which is going to open up my ads manager page. Now what I will tell you guys is this session is going to be like drinking from a fire hose. Okay, I show you everything it can do. Michelle sits with you one-on-one and helps you do it, right? Because people leave and sometimes they get super frustrated because I go through a lot of stuff. But I want you to see everything it can do. That way you make up your mind what you want, and then Michelle sits with you and helps you implement it. So don't get too like, oh my God. So see here how I'm in my personal ad page right now. When you log in, this is what you're gonna see. If I drop down, the one with the little suitcase is my business manager page. Right now, the only time you have to operate out of your business manager page is if you don't have the special ad category, which I'm gonna show you, and you wanna upload a database. That doesn't mean in the future it's gonna stay the same. One of the things that Facebook said was that they were eventually going to migrate the realtors to the business manager page. But I'm going to show you if you don't have one. So if you go here and you don't have this, I'm going to show you the error message that's going to help you create it. And if you have it, how do you connect the two? Okay?
It's better to do this on a laptop or desktop over phone.
Absolutely. I know. My millennials hate that. But it's just, you don't get the same thing. You can download Facebook Ads Manager on as an app, but it just doesn't give you the same type of, and you'll see some of the design tools too that I'm going to show later when we're doing the ad. That won't be on that. So we're going to talk about the different types of ads later. Right now, you're just going to have to trust me that it's reach. So we're going to go to reach. All this stuff, all this crap, turn it off, right? This is the fastest way for you to get into a $350 ad you didn't want to spend $350 on. We are going to choose our lifetime budget later to make sure this is all turned off. It always asks me to set up ad account. You probably won't see this, but I have multiple pages in different time zones. So it's always asking me, which time zone are you in today? And half the time, I don't know. Where am I? So now you're kind of working your way down. So to upload your database, right, it's going to be done under custom audiences and create new. Later, because of the new rules with Facebook, not allowing you to go hyper local, it has to be a 15-mile radius, we are going to spend a lot of time in custom audiences, create new, to do all of your retargeting. Because if you do a 15-mile radius around here, you're going to get over 1 million people in it. You are going to have to start retargeting, and it will make sense once we get there, but we're going to be visiting this quite a bit. So you're going to go to create new, custom audience, and see where it says customer list. If you click on it in your personal ad page, it's going to give you an error message. So now it's telling me add to business because it knows I have a business manager page. If you have add to business, you're going to click on that. Mine's already connected, and then you're going to click this and hit next, and it's going to combine the two. You're going to have to get out. It's going to say, oh, you want to reload it? You're going to reload it. You're going to go in. It's still not going to show. You're going to have to X out, go to facebook.com, 3 little dots again, and reload Ads Manager, and then it will be in your drop down. If you don't have one, that little blue thing that said add to account is going to say create new business. Everybody thinks that they mean a new business page. It's a new business manager page. You're going to click on that. A new website's going to open up. It's going to have a black background. It's going to be your business manager site. You're going to go to create new account. Remember, this is all not customer facing at all. You're going to put in your information. Once you do all that, you're going to get to a screen like this, and you're going to add the two of them. It takes you about 5 minutes. Any questions about business manager? Because it's kind of important.
So if you have a business page, it will pop up?
Okay, so the business manager will not pop up. Okay, so the best way I know, there's multiple ways, like you can go to like facebook.com/business manager. The easiest way I know how to do it is go here and get the error message and get it set up, because then it knows what you're trying to do and connects and flows everything for you instead of you trying to figure out how to connect and flow it.
So it's not setting up a new business page
No.
for you.
No, it's
just the manager.
The business manager page lies behind your page, and you work out of it. The other really cool thing about it is multiple people can have access to it. So like our first and title one, I think about 7 of us run ads out of it all the time. And the reason, another good reason why, is realtors used to hire people to run their Facebook pages for them. They would give them their access, and then they would realize that it didn't work, because what they were doing is going to their realtor box, taking it out, and now you sound and look like every other realtor out there, and nobody was connecting with them. So they would fire that company, and the company, because they were under contract, would not give them rights back to their page. Through Business Manager, you can give multiple people access to it, so you still keep ownership of your page too. So nobody sees it. It's just something you work out of. Any questions about Business Manager? Bueller? Anyone? Okay. So now I'm going to switch it. I'm going to switch it to my Business Manager. And I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when you upload your database. You see how my personal one did not have, I'm creating a campaign for a special ad category. I'm telling you, if you don't select that, you can have the most beautiful ad in the world. They are not going to approve it, and you can't even go in and modify it. You have to redo the entire ad. So you have to click this on every single one of your ads, and it's for housing. We're going to stick with reach. Again, we're going to talk about why later. See this? $25 a day, no thank you. $4 grand later, turning that off. Bye. Just say no. So now I'm going to go to the same place. I'm going to go to my custom audience. Create new. Custom audience. Customer list. You see I don't have the error message anymore. I don't know why it does all this nonsense, but it will give you a download template file, so you can see like the CSV, whoever mentioned that. I'm just going to click next. This, the customer value, their LTV is different in Facebook than our LTV. I don't have that in my spreadsheet, so the answer is no. And now it's going to tell me up here, I can download the template. It's going to show me. There's also, so if I click here, it's going to tell me why it's doing that. You see where it says upload file? I'm going to click upload file. So now it imported in. Now I will tell you this, and I'll show you the copy and paste option. Sometimes if you're exporting out of a CRM mass amounts, they don't give you it in a way that you can work with it. Some CRMs do, some don't. They give it to you in like a Word doc, and you're like, oh, thanks, because they don't want you to cancel your subscription, right? So there is a copy and paste, which is a pain in the tuchus, because you can only do 20 at a time. I'll show you how to do that. So you want to find a way to upload it if you can, especially if you have in the thousands. So you're going to name this, right? You're going to name it past clients. But you guys can have as many of these custom audiences as you want. So if you want to spend a little time on your CRM, you can have past clients, potential buyers, potential sellers, people I met while walking my dog. By the way, my neighborhood is like the friendliest neighborhood. I was trying to jog at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I can't. Everybody stops and talks to me. I'm like, You guys, I'm trying. Like, it's hard enough for me to be out here. My ADD, I don't need distractions. I'm like, hi. Next thing you know, I'm going to hot yoga with some neighbor. So, this is bad. This is bad. So, we're going to hit next. So, it's going to give you the options, right? So, I'm going to upload only email addresses and phone numbers, okay? Because that's the only thing that there's one of. Sarah Luff. Luff is not a common name. You probably have never met another Luff. But if you search Sarah Luff on Facebook, there's about 15 of us, right? So you don't want to do names. So I leave the email, the phone number, mobile advertiser. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to hit do not upload, and it takes it out. First name, do not upload, takes it out. The only thing you're doing is email addresses and phone numbers. You guys get it? And then you're going to hit upload and create, which I'm not going to do because it's fake. The copy and paste option, I'm over here, right? So I go to create new, custom audience, customer list, next. No, I don't have CLTV. Copy and paste. I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy the email addresses. I'm going to go back and paste them here. That's only if you can't get your thing to upload. Try to upload first. And you have to do the email addresses first, and then you have to do the phone numbers next. And then you can't do them together. There you go. That's why it's much better to upload it, if you can. Any questions about custom audiences? If you only do this, you've won. Yes.
Okay, so if you create a custom audience and you're putting in emails and phone numbers, let's say on Facebook they don't have their Facebook account linked to.
They won't find them.
Okay.
So, but the good news is that's why I like phone numbers better, because usually people only have one phone number. People have multiple emails, right? So you'll get about a 50% hit rate.
Okay.
So if you upload 1,000 people, they're going to find about 500.
Okay.
Any questions about custom audiences? Bueller, anyone?
How about size? Like how small can you go on your custom audience? Because usually
You can
do
go
an
pretty
audience-
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one that they gave you had 10.
Oh, okay.
So what I would probably do is, like, I would spend some time on my CRM. I'd have a master one that I sent to everybody.
Right.
But then I may do like past clients, like, oh, don't forget to, for Homestead, and thank you so much. Or if you want to do like a
Refinance
customer,
one or something.
yeah, or a customer appreciation event for the year, you can,
Okay.
something
So you
like
can
that.
be really honed
Yeah.
in on one
Yeah.
group.
Okay, so now let's talk about strategy a little bit. Everybody's like, oh God, right, I'm a good person. So let's talk about strategy a little bit. So before, when we got a listing, right, and I would sit with realtors, we would always work on a postcard. We would send out a just listed postcard and to the neighborhood. And everybody knew you probably weren't going to sell the property to the neighborhood, right? You just did it as a branding opportunity that says, hey, look, I'm selling here. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with video. The problem with just listed postcards is listed is a real estate term that's not always recognizable to the consumer, right? That's why just sold gets a 50% more response rate than just listed, because consumers understand sold. They don't understand why they should care about listed. So when I go in, like if you go to my to Zillow now, and I bought my house last January, and I'm not on the lake, I'm across the street from the lake. I don't even care about the lake. I don't swim in the lake, nothing. There's too many alligators now. It's too gross, the algae, I just can't. So so I don't care, the guy across the street from me was on the lake and decided that he needed to sell his house fast, dropped the property by $200,000. He sold it in about a week because whoever bought it got a great deal. So now when you go to Zillow, it looks like I lost $80,000 worth of equity in my home. And I know I can write a letter to the appraiser and blah, 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 all that crap, right? It's an extra sensuous thing. But we all know, whether we like it or not, that Zillow owns search. So if I list my house now, the first thing a potential buyer is going to do is go on Zillow, look it up, and wonder why I'm trying to list my house $80,000 more than the Zestimate. That's why people should care that you're listing homes in a neighborhood. So we have a whole flyer with all these scripts and the different types of ads. We are going to talk about a 5-ad approach to when you get a listing. You have that paper, right? Or I can send it to you. And also the type of ad you are going to run. So you get a listing today at 123 Main Street. The first thing you're going to do is go either stand outside the neighborhood or in the neighborhood. You're going to shoot a very short video that says, I listed a house in your community. Since I know the sale of that home directly affects the value of your home, because that's why they should care that you're selling in their neighborhood, I'm going to keep you up to date on what's happening on 123 Main Street. Get in, get out. Your name's going to be on the top. They're going to see, and they're like, oh. Because when I got, before, even when I was in, I'm like, why are they sending me just lists? I just didn't understand it, until I got screwed, right, of why I should care. The second one is, and I went to a mastermind in Atlanta with a gentleman that sold 1,500 units and $600 million in real estate last year. And he did it in Scottsdale, Arizona, where if you guys want to know what's going to happen here in 3 to 5 years, go to Scottsdale. That's like the birthplace for everything new, everything that they're trying. Nobody wants to mess with California. It's too expensive. Their laws are too crazy. But everything pretty much starts in Scottsdale. Then it goes to Las Vegas, Texas, and Florida. That's how it works. So he was talking about iBuyers, and I'm sure you guys are fully aware of iBuyers now, right? He's got 11 operating in his market very, very heavily. He was always a listing guy. Listing, listing, listing. He goes, now I go to a listing, and I know the conversation's going to go the same way every single time I walk in. The first thing they're going to say is, will you list my house for 1% or $1,000, or I'm going to sell to one of these 11 people that sent me a letter, have no showings, and be out in 3 weeks. So he says, I take it for $1,000 or 1%. No, I'm not going to make any money. I want to leverage it for buyers. So they do strong social media campaigns for their open houses to get potential buyers. Because if they buy from Open Door, Purple Brick, Yellow Cow, Flying Kite, I don't know, everybody, he says, I still get my 3% commission. So that's how he's been able to sustain. I like to share this with you guys because right now the only one we really have operating besides some mom and pops is Open Door. And they're coming in fast and furious. They're like number 5 in market share in all the markets that they're in, right? So I want you guys to be on the offense, not the defense. And the way that they do it is they're stacking their deck with more buyers, right? So with this, you are going to do an open house with all of your listings. It doesn't have to be on the weekend. It can be during the week. We like to stalk you on Zillow when you're having open houses and pop up because then you can't leave. Right, Michelle? I mean, hi. So the second one is going to be, I listed a house in your community. Since I know the sale of that home directly affects the value of your home, we're beating it over their head. We are holding an open house this weekend that's open to the public from 1 to 3 with a private viewing for neighbors and friends from 12 to 1. We'll be there to answer any questions about what's happening in your neighborhood. The third one is going to be an event ad inviting them to come to the open house. Remember, we're going to send you the sheet with all the scripts, the different types, whatever. The fourth one, if you can do it at the open house, you are going to try to interview the seller. It is a proven fact that people want to know what the sellers were like and what they liked about that home while living there. So now you're emotionally selling the house. If they won't do it, you're just going to stand in front of the house, talk about the features of the house and the community. That's going to be your fourth ad. Your fifth ad is going to be lead gen. If you do an event ad for your open house, you're going to get I've seen as little as 6 potential buyers come through. I've seen as many as 42 come through. So you're gonna give a recap. And you're gonna say, thank you to everyone that came out to 123 Main Street this weekend. I had 6 potential buyers come through, which is the most I've seen at an open house in the last 6 months, which tells me your market is hot. If you would like to know what the potential buyers were looking for in your community, click the Learn More button. Now you're lead genning. We're gonna walk through all these types of ads. So number 1, your first ad, I listed a house in your community. The second one, I listed a house in your community. This is why you should care. We're having an open house. And the fourth one, interviewing the seller or talking about the house, are all going to be run exactly the same way. I'm going to show you how to do that. They're going to be reach ads. Your event ad is going to be an engagement ad, asking for event responses. And your last one is going to be lead gen, where we get into retargeting. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Do you have Cuban coffee in here? What happened? You go night-night? Purple hair. Did that dive into your brain? I need you to wake up. I'm just kidding. Purple hair. So does everybody remember how we got here? Right? So we got to 3 little dots, go to create ad. This opens up. We selected special ad category. Now instead of uploading our database, we want to do the area, which really sucks because you used to be able to do a mile radius and you could say I listed your neighbor's house. You can't really say that about 15 miles. You have to say I listed a house in your community. Right? So I'm going to hover over this. Do you see where it says United States? I'm not running an ad to the entire United States. So I'm going to click edit. Who has a listing right now? Go ahead, purple hair. What's your address?
3828 Prado.
3828 Prado?
Yeah, Prado.
Prado, no, not New Mexico. What is it?
DeSoto Lakes.
Drive.
What is it?
Third one down.
Third one down? This one?
Yep.
So now I drop pinned it right there on top of the house, right? So just like if we were doing a mailer, we were going to send it to the neighborhood to tell them that we just listed it. We are now going to tell this circle of people the 5 ads that we just talked about. You guys are lucky because you're on the water. So right now it says 490,000 people is your potential reach at my 15 mile. I can't even switch that 15 miles. I can go bigger, but I can't go smaller. But what you can do, purple hair, is since you're on the water, is you can drop pin it over here, still get that in, right? And it's only about 10,000 less people. But you see what I did? I moved the circle further in the water so the radius was in the water to get less people. Because more people isn't necessarily better. That means you're going to have to spend more money to reach them.
And they might not be relative. I mean,
Right.
you know, you do that, like hitting Palmetto people and you're hitting people in Gulf, like, no.
So here,
People.
No, nothing, just they're different.
so if you put the
You walked back to that one.
Yeah.
So here's the age. I can't touch it. Gender, I can't touch it. And detail targeting, no options. Once you hit that special ad category, it's all gone. All right? Which stinks. Automatic placements. Leave it alone, right? Facebook says these people in this circle are typically on Facebook Monday through Friday from 5 to 9. That's when they're going to run your ad. Don't try to figure out the algorithms that Facebook already knows of when your ad should be running. They'll figure it out for you. Budget and schedule. This is muy importante. Muy importante.
Your accent is wonderful.
Thank you. 2 years of Spanish at public school. So if you go here, right, I'm going to switch this to a lifetime budget. When I do that, it's going to automatically change to a $350 ad, which is way too much money to spend. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to start my ad tomorrow, and I'm going to run it for a week because I got 4 more ads coming right behind it. Right? So I'm going to change this to $10. So now my potential reach, daily reach, is anywhere between 903 and 2600. So for my $10, I'm going to see anywhere between almost 7,000 people or 17,000 for $10. What do you think will be the difference if it's closer to 900 people see it a day or 2,600 people see it a day?
Video.
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 Steve's listening.
And engagement. And engagement, because Facebook will say, oh, people are liking this and commenting on this. I'm going to show it to more people. That's why sometimes you'll be on your feed and like you'll be like, oh, they posted that on Sunday and it's Wednesday and you're seeing it. It's because people started reacting to it and commenting on it, and Facebook says, this is entertaining, I'm going to show it to more people. So that's reach. So I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to hit continue. Now I have it defaulted to go to my Instagram account already. If you don't see this here, you can click on it and all it's going to do is ask you for your username and your password. It has to be an Instagram business account. Instagram, you can swap your personal account to a business account, not lose any of your followers, but you get insights on the back end. It's really easy to do it from your 3 little dots, settings, switch it over, but it has to be a business account if you want to run ads on it. So you're going to connect the two. I'm going to leave it here under video. I don't know why it does this. This is not what I want to run an ad with. So I'm going to hit clear all, add media, add video. So now I'm uploading the video that I shot with my phone, right? That's one that doesn't have an overlaid image. Let's use this one for Bonnie.
I know. At least it's not me doing this. Another video.
Yeah, and then I'm going to hit edit video, right? So I'm not going to crop it inside here. I typically don't. So I was going to crop it, I would do it outside in like Video Shop or something like that. And then it recommends the 1:1 aspect ratio. I know more about aspect ratios than I've ever wanted to know, but on Instagram, it's going to crop it for you or keep it the same. But typically just be aware when you're shooting videos, what platform is it going to go on? This is not the best, this way is not the best way for Facebook and Instagram. It's this way. I know on Instagram it's going to cut if you're doing it in the news feed. It could cut your head off because the aspect ratio for Instagram is 1:1. It's a lot of fun. I know. Now I have to be a videographer. So thumbnail, right? So have any of you guys ever been watching a video and before it starts, somebody's like mouth is open and their eyes are closed? Because they didn't select the thumbnail for their video, right? So you can go here to custom, and then it gives me some options of Bonnie. Like this one looks like she's smiling, so I'd rather this picture show before it starts. You can also upload it. And you see here captions. Now I'm going to close caption it. So I'm going to hit captions. Oh, it's already on there. I'm going to hit edit so you guys can see it. You would hit generate automatically, and then it would read it, and then you got to go in here and you can type, like she put Facebook ads class, maybe we could put, and it's going to change the words, social media.
Because people are either going to be watching it with sound or looking at it with closed caption. So if you don't really like what you said, you can change the closed caption.
Yeah.
Cool. And then
Yeah.
no one will know.
Now when they click on it to listen to it, the words go away.
So you have to write all that in for the whole
No,
No.
it'll automatically generate.
It generates automatically, but you have to like, the first time I uploaded her video, it was like, hey Realtors, Bunny here. Well, her name is Bonnie, so you had to go in there. It did 40, she said 49%. It did 40-9 and spelled out percent. So I exit out, put 49. So, and you got to capitalize it, and, add, it's not really good at that stuff. So you can edit it, but it will upload, you just have to check it. So I'm going to hit save to video. So now I've closed captioned it. The next thing that I'm going to do is down here, I'm not going to text overlay it because I closed caption. It'll be too much words all over the place. But I do want a logo overlay it. So I'm going to click logo overlay. And then you go down and I select our logo. And then I tell it where I want. See this grid? right here, I want it on the bottom left, and then you can do it small, you can do it medium, or you can do it large. Obviously, I want it small. And right now, it only has it going through this much of the video. I want it through the entire video, so I'm going to drag that out. So now I have my logo there. But you can really kind of upload any picture you want there. You know, like if it's a, you know, if you're showing the house, you want to upload your picture and your contact information, that could be your logo overlay, as long as it's in that format. And just hit apply. And now you're going to have your logo overlay on it too. So it looks like you do a little bit of editing in it. That's the kind of stuff you can't do on your phone. Yeah.
So did that video start as a live video that she saved to her phone, and then you've gone through and uploaded this?
No.
Or she just recorded it on her phone?
She recorded on her phone, and she emailed it to herself.
Okay.
Yeah. Live videos, I don't think there's a way to save them.
Yeah.
If there is,
Yes,
okay.
you can at the top right after you do it.
Okay, then you could do a live video, save it, and then you could turn it into an ad.
Okay. But that's not how that started. That just
No, that was her just shooting it. So then, now it's telling me there's 10 placements I can put this in. So right now, when I'm running ads on Facebook and Instagram, I run everything on my Facebook news feed and everything on Instagram on my stories. My stories have had an increase of 803% views in the last year. 60% of my stories posted by a business result in a direct message from a consumer. You are never going to get that type of interaction on Facebook that you are on Instagram. So I always run my ads, for now, on Instagram, my stories. In 6 months, it could be something else. I follow wherever the consumer's at on the platform. And right now, it's newsfeed on Facebook and my stories on Instagram. So I have to tell it. This is all for my $10. Okay? So I'm going to go here, customize placement, and I'm going to do my Facebook newsfeed. So now I have to do the same thing. I just always check the ad, right? Oh, my computer. So the thumbnail, same thing, right? Still has it on there. Captions, it's saved to video. And then I'm gonna hit save. It's primary text. What it does, what it does is it pulls over whatever's on my Facebook page. Well, I don't want that as the opening line. The other thing is, you see this see more? On an ad, you never want the consumer to have to click see more. Your headline needs to be whatever they can see at the placement of the ad. So what you want to do is you'd want to put, what neighborhood is your listing in?
DeSoto Lakes.
Okay, so you would put DeSoto Lakes, jeez, go by, residents, watch video to see what is happening in your neighborhood. The other cool thing about the new rules with Instagram or Facebook is, even though you can only go 15 miles out, you can train the algorithm. So if you keep putting in DeSoto Lakes, DeSoto Lakes, DeSoto Lakes, they're gonna know you want to be in DeSoto Lakes. So you can kind of train your algorithm a little bit. Over here, logo overlay. I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm basically building separate little ads, right? For each one, but then it's gonna run on both platforms. So now I did my Facebook newsfeed. Now I'm gonna do my Instagram My Story. So I'm gonna select my placement where it says, and here's all your options, right? You can do Instagram Explorer, I don't even know what that is. Audience, network, in-stream videos. Do not be that person that when somebody's watching a video, your ad pops up and says the video will continue after this ad.
Ooh.
We
Don't
all,
be that guy.
we all hate you.
Seems like a nice YouTube tool.
So I'm gonna go to Instagram Stories.
5 more seconds to skip it.
Right. And now it's gonna show me what it's gonna look like on Instagram Stories. So down here, you know, I have my closed caption, but under this primary text, I don't want all that. You could just put your phone number and, you know, your name and your phone number, or you could put in DeSoto Lakes residents sound on, right? That way if they see it, they know that they need to turn the sound on and listen to what you're saying. Same thing, I'm gonna do my logo overlay. Today. Now. Apply. And then, actually I'm gonna cancel it out because you guys already know how to do that. But I wanna show you my Instagram. Did it completely go away?
Well, that's it.
That's it.
You're fired. Fine.
Yep. So take this out because you can put in your name, but I want to change the background color. And just put in your name and your phone number.
976.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if that's available. So on the background color, our color is green. I'm not a huge fan of that. You guys is orange. So you can change that background color. Remember, Instagram is very visual. You can also do gradients. You can add more, like if you don't like that orange, you like more.
Or you can put in a Pantone color.
Yeah,
You
you
do.
can. Right down
Yeah,
here.
put that.
FF6C2C.
What is it?
FF6
FF.
6 C2C.
That's already set.
And now you're compliant.
Fancy.
There you go.
Look at that.
And then you put your name down there or put it whatever you
Joke
want.
is like F.
So, and then it's going to show you again. So down here, I don't want my primary text. It changed it. I don't know why it changed it there. Changed it here in the ad. This is also really cool. So I'm going to add my website URL. So if you guys have, websites for each one of your listings or your listings on your website, like, do you have one for your listing?
Yeah, we're not live yet.
You're not live? Okay. Does anybody else have somebody give me an address of a listing that they have.
They're not simple.
Oh, jeez. I'll put in my address. How about that? And you guys can see how much money I've lost.
She likes to self-deprecate every time.
Let's all laugh at Sarah and the money she lost. So let's just say that this is your listing, right? So now you're going to copy this on whatever the website is, and then you're going to put it here in the link URL, and what it's going to do is change this Learn More button. If they click Learn More, it's going to take it to that website.
Didn't you say Facebook doesn't want them to go away?
It's your website.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not a competitor. You're not.
Yeah,
competing with
it's
that.
your website. So they put it there like it's a Zillow, but it would say your website there. The headline would be must, see home in DeSoto Lakes under 300 or whatever you want to put.
With Mr. Purple Hair. Right.
Yeah, hashtag purple hair. He's
We
gonna
don't see.
see
If I
that.
don't see that hashtag soon, so you know.
Trending.
You're like, not only am I a realtor, but I can help you dye your hair.
Already tried
Not
that
like
one.
So then it changes the headline down there, but you can also just put your name and phone number if you want to do that or whatever message, but the headline bolds it, and then the Learn More button becomes that link or whatever you want. You hit confirm. Hopefully if you haven't violated any equal housing, your ad will be approved, and it will be running on Facebook and Instagram for your $10, and you'll see anywhere between 7,000 and 17,000 people. So that's how you're going to do your first one, your second one, and your fourth one. It's all going to be exactly the same way, like this. Does anybody have any questions before we go on to events? Yes.
If you don't have Instagram at this point, would you recommend getting one or just piling all the money into the Facebook?
I would definitely get Instagram, and I'll tell
But
you
if have
why.
no followers. Like,
It doesn't matter because you're going to be running ads.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter if you have followers, right? So that's the thing with ads is you don't. It's nice if you have followers and stuff because then you can post on Instagram. I feel like your post gets seen more than on Facebook because Facebook, the newsfeed is so cluttered with ads that it doesn't really even matter if you have a big following, because it's probably not going to be seen. It's only going to be seen about 10% of your people, because remember when we talked about at the beginning, the news feed is too valuable to let you advertise for free. So all of this stuff I'm teaching you is paying to get in front of people, which eventually I would say in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be all paid if you're a business. They're just not going to be seen. So it doesn't really matter. You want to have some relevant stuff on there. You know, and I tell people too, you know, we like to use, you want to find a hashtag that, I definitely use the geotagging of, Sarasota, Florida, that stuff. But then you kind of want to have your own hashtag. You don't want to use like hashtag realtor. Because if somebody goes in and searches that hashtag or clicks on it when they're on your ad, now you're taking them to 4 million of your competitors. But, for millennials and zennials, because I'm younger than you Gen Xers, just kidding. The other thing that they do is they go, so if you go to Instagram, one of the things that I did, so I went to Europe. Oh, jeez, really?
You need another W.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I'm tired of these smart people. So if you go to Instagram, right? Oh look, there's me. And you search. Okay, I'm so mad. I did not realize that the college national championship game was in New Orleans. I would have so been there. I'm like, it's in New Orleans? I love New Orleans. So I was planning a trip to Europe, and I did it all by myself. And we went to Murin. And those of you that don't know where Murin is like literally on top of the Swiss Alps. You can only get there by cable car. There's no cars in that city. So I was like, oh, Hilton. No, Hilton doesn't have a hotel there. And then I was like, oh, Marriott. No, Marriott doesn't have a hotel there. So I was like, where am I going to stay? Like, you can go on booking.com, but they always up your prices, and they do all that kind of weird stuff. And then you always get the worst room because the people that own the place are pissed that you went through that website, right? So I was like, I don't want to do that. So I searched hashtag Murin. This is how it works. Murin hotel. And I'm going to show you why followers don't matter. 2 posts, right? So I went, this one, I have no idea what they're saying, right? They just put in, there's nothing in it, I can't work. Donut peach, can't work with anything with that, right? So, but I clicked on this one, and here's a video, and it says Hotel Alpinra. So I went, searched Hotel Alpinra, booked it directly with them, but no other Murin hotels have their information on Instagram. So I didn't book with them. I don't care if they have any followers. They gave me information I needed. Does that make sense? Instagram is very, very powerful. Very powerful.
That's why you can use 30 hashtags to get into that.
Well, and that's a whole other thing. But what I do is when I post, I have all my hashtags saved in notes of my phone, and then I copy it and paste it so I'm not, mess up, on my hashtags.
Where do you keep your hashtags? Just on an iPhone? Like
in your notes.
In the notes?
Yeah,
it's on Android.
you
You
can
can
hide
tray, and it's so nice.
You know, so it doesn't come up on the when you first see it, it'll go down further, and then they'll all be there.
Sarah,
kind of a pain.
what is the schedule for this board? When you're like, when you
Okay.
need to be doing this.
Can you repeat that question? Because I'm not sure that the mic picked that
Yeah,
up.
okay. The question was, when do you schedule out the ad? So you gotta kind of plan, is this a hot listing? Is it gonna go fast? Then maybe you only spend $5 and you do the first one for 3 days. Follow it up with the other one, the open house is coming. Maybe the open house is coming and the event ad is overlapping together. Maybe you need to stretch it out. Maybe it needs to go for a week and then this is coming comes, but I would say no more than a week apart. 5 days is probably the best. And then you want to do your event ad, like if you're going to do it on that Saturday, you want to start your event ad on like a Tuesday. And we're going to do event ads next.
I mean, they'll overlap.
They'll overlap some, but that's okay because the messages are a little bit different and you're going to look different, right? But the event ad, so the reason why I love events and Facebook. The only problem is you can't run an event ad on Instagram. So the videos you can do on Instagram, my stories, but event ads, that interest or going button, isn't available yet on Instagram. So your event ad would only be run on Facebook. So what you would do is the event ad, the reason why I like them so much is it's one of the few things that Facebook will still allow you to, you making messes over there? Yep. You're like my kids.
Or me.
Me too. Oh, you should see my car. The event ad is really cool because once you post your event, right? So I'm going to post my event and my sphere will see it. And if people start clicking that they're interested or going, all their friends and their people on their pages are going to see that they're interested or going. That's why sometimes you get notifications that say 4 of your friends are interested in an event near you today. It's because they did an event, right? So it's one of the few things left that can organically grow on Facebook. Same thing with your ad. If you run it as an ad, the ad will, if the people click interested or going, that their sphere is going to see it and your ad will grow more. So an event ad, let me show you really quick what that looks like. And has everybody set up an event on Facebook? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys are familiar with how to set up the event? So you want me to skip over that and go to, okay, no, all right. So I'm going to go back to my 3 little dots, and I'm going to go to create event. So this is funny, so I'm not going to go into it today just because of time, but this layout is different, right? So there's a program called Type that I use that takes a still picture and puts a moving image over it to create a video. So basically you're tricking the video algorithm. I put open house, it scrolls up, you can watermark, it takes you about 5 seconds to do. It's the easiest thing. Afterwards, if you guys want me to show you on my phone, I will, but it's super easy. So I make it that way. I email it to myself, and then I upload the video here, right? Then you're going to type in
App or website? To have Hype.
Uh-huh.
And I also, there's Video Shop and then Canva sometimes to make your, they have to be.
The aspect ratios are like a real pain in. Like, that's the thing that frustrated me the most when I started doing this, and then I learned little tricks here and there.
People and they're cut off, and they're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's because the aspect ratio is, yeah. And then here, you're going to type in the address of where the open house is going to be. It usually defaults to whatever's on your business address, you know, so you want to change that. Description is what you would normally.
Another one?
Purple hair. Hashtag purple hair. So then your category is going to be home, right? And that's because if people go into a particular area and are searching home events, your open house is going to come up. And then you're going to put in the date and time. So let's just say it's this Saturday and 12 to 3. But if you need to change it, you can either go here, right, 12:30 to whatever, and change it. And then you're going to publish it. Don't worry about all this stuff. Publish it, and then it's going to show up on your page, right? It's going to be done. People are going to start clicking that they're interested or going. But we want to run it as an ad to the same people that we've already ran the last 2 videos on, right? So I'm going to go here to the 3 little dots, and I'm going to go to create ad. Remember, we're going to send you guys the 5 ad type. You don't have to say what we say, but we just, the biggest thing is people are like, we don't know where to start, so we try to give them at least an idea. So you go here to engagement. So when you're running event ads, it's an engagement ad asking for event responses.
How come you're doing different from reach on the
Because
event one?
I want to create that interest or going button.
Okay.
So the first, so number 1, 2, and 4 is all reach. And that's exactly what it is. It's just reaching. It's just getting information out there. We're not expecting anything out of it. This, we're expecting responses. And lead gen, we're expecting leads.
Okay.
So this, it would be engagement. But most of the time, I always run reach ads. But then, like I said, these platforms are very smart. They'll say, oh, okay, well, Sarah really likes reach ads. We're not going to give her as many people seeing it. So I'll have to switch to brand awareness, which is under the same thing, and then I go back to reach. But I like reach. I always get more out of reach than I do brand awareness. So I'm going back to set up ad account. So now what I'm going to do is the same thing, right? I'm going to type in the address of wherever the listing is. I'm going to use mine. Just so it's easier for me to. And remember, you guys can do this anywhere in the world. So I was teaching this class in Orlando last week, and one of the guys is, you know, in Celebration, and everyone, all of his buyers, he's from England, are from England. So what we did is we did a drop pin in Manchester, and I told him, you need to say, here are the 3 things you should know as a foreign investor on what to buy if you're thinking about buying a vacation property in Florida. Start doing those types of, those ads. So you can do this anywhere, but maybe China, they're a little strict. But you can do it anywhere in the world. So it doesn't have to be just here. I'm gonna go automatic placements. On my engagement ad for my event, I'm gonna spend $15 because it has the reach ads. I spend 10, engagement I spend 15, and lead gen I spend 25. It's $70 to get in front of that many people 5 times. So I'm gonna change this to 10. Well, actually, I'm gonna change the date first. So let's say it's next week, and I'm gonna start it on Monday, and I'm gonna run it until the open house, which is the 25th, and then I'm going to spend $15. And there's my daily reach, and I'm gonna get less than 10 responses.
Gotcha.
And normally I always change the date first, because if you don't and you change the dollar like I just did and it says less than 10, you're never gonna get it off less than 10. Unless I put like $1,000 in there, right? So I always change the dates first so I can get an accurate response rate, but this time I didn't.
Okay.
So it's probably a little bit more than less than 10. It's probably, usually will tell me like 2 to 13. The cool thing about event ads is I gotta select the page because I have 25 of them. But down here, if I've already created the event on my page, which we just did, I don't have to recreate the ad. I can just type in, like I have social media one-on-one, I can put that here, and now everything that I created on that event pulls over to the ad and I don't have to recreate it. So I always create the event first, then run the ad. Hit confirm, and hopefully if you haven't violated an equal housing, your event ad won't be running. Okay, now the last one, and the coolest one, and the hardest one is lead gen. So if anybody wants to do, with retargeting, if anybody wants to do jumping jacks, go to the bathroom, take a shot of espresso, do it now, because this one is like a lot. This is a lot.
Josh, you wanna go spill some more stuff?
I might have something in my bag you can start throwing at people.
Music time.
Exactly.
It's the best damn offer.
It is.
But that's why we get
They are
the
fun.
To go back and watch the 5
I
minutes.
sent you your advice, by the way.
Did you? Yay!
It'll be on our website.
That's what they like, no.
Gotcha.
Did you pause it?
10% of
These
it.
people
Not yet.
look nice. I'll accept.
I kind of like that, maybe.
Oh, Chi-Chi. She was in my class on Friday. I loved her. So I had a Chi-Chi, and then she wanted to stay for the second class I was teaching, because we also teach a lab where we run the ads together, but they're smaller groups. Like 3 people will bring something, we run it together. So she wanted to stay for the next one too. So we were saying Chi-Chi all day, and then the lady came into the second class, and her name was Uzi. And I'm like, oh, Chi-Chi, you just lost your cool name. Anybody's named Uzi, like, they win. So, is he coming? Yeah, he's probably coming back. I gotta wait for him. 3 little dots. If nothing else, we'll know how to get to, oh, there you are. And we're gonna go to create ad.
So I took a break off.
Yeah, they're like, we want to wrap this up, please.
Yeah, right?
So,
He's out making calls.
he's out, yeah.
Having a snack, you know.
Yeah. So now we're gonna do lead gen. This is where you're asking for people's contact information. So a lot of your follow-up, I'm going to show you in this platform, most of your follow-up can be done inside the platform with retargeting. The problem with that is what if Facebook does become MySpace and it's no longer relevant? You want to build your database outside of this so you can, whatever platform may be the newest best thing, you can start. So that's where lead gen's going to come in, right? So we're going to select lead gen. What do we do with this? Turn it off.
Somebody's got candy.
Yep.
Elizabeth's got candy.
I'm not even going to.
No.
I'm not even going to think about it. I don't want anything to do with it. So if I go here and I'm going to hit edit, and you can just also just type in Sarasota. Oh, actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm lying. I'm going to go back to custom audiences. So I'm going to go to create new custom audiences. Remember before we went to customer list to upload our database. See this video button? I'm going to click video. And now, because I'm targeting, what did it say? It was like 400,000 people, right? I had to cast a very big net, but now I want to start narrowing that net down. And when I meet with real estate agents, they always tell me, you know, oh, I only want to do luxury. And I'm like, yeah, me too, right? So the thing is your clients pick you, right? At the end of the day, your clients truly pick you. So I always say to people when I'm teaching, especially in a big group or like, because I teach sometimes, there's been 200 people that I've taught this to. You know, it doesn't matter. It's always 70% of the people I'm connecting with. They get me, as crazy as I am, they get me. Those are my people. The 30% is okay. We're not, you know, you are trying to find your 70% in your ads, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is here, I'm going to go to browse. And I'm going to now target people that have watched my videos only, not the whole group. So you can pick people that have viewed 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 25%, 50%, or 75% of your, or 95% of your video. So for me, depending on how long your videos are, if your videos are pretty short, I'm going to select 10 seconds. If they're pretty long, you just kind of have to play with it, right? So I'm going to select people that have viewed 10 seconds. And now I'm going to choose videos. This video is the first one that I said I listed a house in your neighborhood since I know the value of your home, blah, 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 blah. This one says I listed a house in your neighborhood since I know the sale directly affects the value of your home. We're having an open house. And the third one is going to be my fourth ad that I ran, interviewing the seller or talking about the house. So now the only people that are going to get my lead gen ad are people that have already seen me. Because if not and viewed me, what's going to happen? All they see, if you haven't been Sean Penn to them on the screen, you haven't built a relationship with them, and they see a lead gen ad, they're going to say, no, thank you. You're not putting me in your database to spam me all day, right? So only people that you've already connected with, you're going to hit confirm, and then you're going to be like 123 Main Street video viewers. Remember, today we're talking about listings. This can just be regular farming stuff, right? You don't have a listing, you want to shoot about living in Sarasota, and you want to run an ad to people in, where are they all coming from? California or wherever they're coming from. You can, New Jersey, well, most California gets Texas, we get the Northeast, right? And you're going to name it. So now your ad is only going to be running to those people that have viewed at least 10 seconds of one of those videos on this ad campaign that we've ran.
What if it's brand new, like it's the first video that you put out?
Well, your first video, you wouldn't do lead gen on your first video. You could, could, but I wouldn't. I would run a couple videos and then do lead gen.
So you're pulling that information.
The last part of the
from
series.
those.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
this is the last video. And this video is going to be the one that says, thank you everyone that came out to 123 Main Street this weekend. I had 6 potential buyers come through, which tells me your market is hot. If you have any questions about what the buyers were looking for in your neighborhood, click the Learn More button. That Learn More button is going to be the lead form That opens up, it's a landing page inside of the ad. It pulls all their contact information over from their Facebook page. They click next, you get the lead. Doesn't take them somewhere else. That's why lead gen is so cool. So we're gonna scroll because we picked our people, right? Yes.
Just to let you know, we're going to run out of recording space in
Oh my
about
God.
10 minutes.
Okay, I'll be done in 10.
Okay.
So automatic placements, you're gonna leave that alone. Budget and schedule, I'm gonna select a lifetime budget. I'm gonna change the date. I'm gonna run this one for 5 days. So this is after the open house. So if I run it, and now I'm gonna spend $25 on lead gen. So it says for $25, I'm gonna get 7 to 19 leads.
Per day, right?
No, total.
Oh.
Your reach per day is the 229 to
Okay,
660.
gotcha, okay.
But your leads, I mean, where else can you get 7 to 19 leads for $25? So I'm gonna hit continue.
Yeah, the bait shop.
Not one.
It's a mess. I'm not gonna upload the video and do all that because we've already shown that. Down here, the biggest difference is your lead form, right? So when they click on that learn more button, this form is gonna open up. You gotta build out that form, right? So you we'll load a picture there, but you can put a picture of the house. You can also make a generic lead form one time, and then every time you run a lead gen ad, it's the same one, right? So the intro, you're gonna type in, you know, DeSoto residence, whatever it is, right? You upload your image or keep it the same. Questions. So right now it's automatically pulling over the email address and their full name, but I also want their phone number. So I'm gonna click add new question, contact fields, phone number. Remember, they're not typing this out. This is coming from their Facebook profile. Down here, their privacy policy. Your ad will not run, your lead gen ad will not run if you do not have your privacy policy. So typically it's at the very, very bottom of your website.
We have one on nexthomeexcellence.com for exactly this purpose. I can give that to you as
You're
well.
missing the
So
W
it-
again.
Of course I am.
It's 2W.
Next home, oh, I put Nest Home. Next Home Excellence.
Yep, and I think it's / privacy policy.
You can't type because everyone's watching you type.
I know.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, if you go here, this is your guys' website.
Yeah, you won't be able to get it through there. You'll have to go directly through the URL.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually at the very bottom. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I didn't put it in there.
You didn't? So you have to do /
/ privacy.
or just privacy?
I think it's either privacy or privacy policy.
Let's try. But you could always just type that here in the URL, but you can also copy it and paste it, and then you're covered. But it will not run without your privacy policy. And then here, your thank you screen, you can build that out. You're gonna hit save and finish. So then your lead form is built out. I went through it really, really fast just for time. You hit confirm and then your lead ad is running. The other thing really quick, because I want to show you something back in retargeting, because retargeting is going to be life with the new rules, but you have to run ads before you can retarget. So once everybody starts running ads, we can come back and do a whole nother class just on retargeting. But if you go here to create new custom audience, do you see where it says, oops, I'm going to click on create new custom audience, see where it says events? I can retarget people who responded going or interested, who responded going, interested, visit an event page. So if you start running these open house events, you can retarget all those people inside of Facebook that clicked or interacted with it.
Cool. Is there a spot to see if somebody clicked on the learn more and didn't fill out the
It'll
leads
automatically
form?
This will be, okay, so that would be here. So under custom audience, you won't see who it was, but under lead form, you can, anyone who opened this form, you can now retarget with another ad. Or who opened but didn't submit it, who opened and submitted form.
Okay.
The other one too is create new custom audience. Anyone who visited your Facebook page, so engaged with your page, visited your page, anything like that, you can run an ad on their page, and same with Instagram. So Instagram business profile, same thing. Anyone who engaged with your business, post or ad. So all your retargeting is done under this create new custom audiences. There's a lot of different things you can do, but you've got to run ads first before we can retarget.
And that 7 to 9 leads, does that include the Instagram or is that separate from?
Instagram, you can't run lead gen ads on Instagram through here. Well, yeah, you can. You just can't do your event ad. No, it's both.
Okay.
It's both.
So that $25 goes to both places.
So like in that circle, let's say that 90% of the people are on Facebook and 10% are on Instagram. 90% of your ads going to go there, and then the 10% they'll find on the Instagram. That's it.
That's it. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Look at that. We are like so perfect timing. We're going to cut me off probably. Sarah Luffett, First International Title. That was excellent.
Thank you.
So we're going to have this living forever on our website so we can go back and review it. I know that I've got about 6 different places that I'm going to go ahead and use this. But I'm super interested in the document that you were talking about as well that kind of walks that through in a quicker version.
Contact me. I'll leave cards up front.
Yeah, she'll send it to you because we have a sheet that tells you.
Little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have that out here for you guys. Thank you guys very much for your class.